One of my favorite things about selling real estate is when there's really awesome landscaping. And here today, I'm introducing Kyle Warren, Warren's Landscaping, and this guy does it all and some really cool stuff. Kyle, thanks for being on here today, man.
Thank you.
15 years in business?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. How'd you get started?
Well, I got started, I was working inside, said I want to get outside and start doing something I enjoy, and started with cutting grass one summer, and one thing led to another. It's grew into hardscapes, excavation, underground, concrete. We do whatever the customer asks. Over 15 years, we've adapted to change, and we've just basically taken care of all our customers' needs.
And pretty cool, and this is really awesome, for especially the small business owners watching this video. This guy doesn't do any advertising and is really growing his business off word of mouth and just doing good quality, solid work. So when you hear landscaping, it means a whole bunch of different things to a bunch of people. Some people think it's a push mower and a weed eater, and others realize it's like the extent of this. And you've done everything out here with the exception of the pool. You had the pool done by a pool company, but it's just really impressive. And I want to walk around to this particular job site, and I know it's a work in progress, so you're not completed with it, but you were telling me some of the things earlier about all the different projects going on. So let's kind of show out what you guys are capable of, and that way if someone's looking to get in touch with you, they can. But I guess for now, what's the best way they can call you?
Through phone. Right now, my phone number is 678-266-8534. We'll set up an email address. I'll give all my business information on a card where everybody can reach out.
Well, James will throw it on the screen for us so y'all get in touch with it. So anyway, y'all check it out. We'll have it linked in the description about how to get in touch with Kyle and his company. So one thing I was noticing here is like, man, these amazing steps and the retaining wall. And we were talking earlier about, you know, a lot of houses are like this. You have a house on a basement, they have the retaining wall built back out, especially if someone was planning for a pool for the future. But a lot of times it's just a blank concrete wall. And show an example like what you're planning on doing here.
Okay, so basically when this project started, it's grew a lot. But once we started, I had an idea. We've been planning it with the pool. We didn't know we were going to do stamped concrete. And I was like, well, it's so much natural area out here, and I want a big, I've seen a lot of customers pour pool decks way too small. So basically I said, I'm going to pour a big pool deck where the kids, everybody can enjoy it, but I want to do something different than I've ever seen before. I wanted to do these cutouts.
Right.
And basically in these cutouts,
and that's basically where we have the little square that
yes,
the concrete's not there, and you got a tree in there.
Yes.
I love it.
And it breaks it up, and it takes the commercial look away. The problem out here, it's not a problem, it's a good thing. I didn't want to take away from the natural setting. And I was worried about doing a stamped concrete or a darker finish, that it wouldn't pull out all the colors and the natural colors of all the landscape. So right, doing concrete, the problem with that, sometimes it's commercialized. This, I think it turned out great. It pulled all the colors out of the blue atlas trees here, and you really see all the colors and all the landscape. And I believe being such a big pool deck, it's 60 by 80, so you can really enjoy it.
You can have a basketball court almost out
here. Yeah, when we started out, we brought in total for this whole project roughly about 300 tandems of dirt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We stripped all the topsoil. Luckily, the homeowner had an area in the bottom. We're 20 miles out. It's hard to get dirt out here. So right, once we started that, we started excavating and running off-road dump truck, and one thing turned into another. And the whole goal is we wanted this backyard, it was sloped, and it dropped about 15 foot in elevation from the top of the driveway to the bottom of the fence.
Wow.
So
okay,
basically what we've done here is create a usable backyard, not just a pool that drops off with a wall. So that's where this wall came in. We pushed it back, and it just so happened to square up with the pool, but we wanted something that would last.
I love the idea you're talking about not making it look so commercialized, the little cutouts on the concrete, and also as we're standing here, the 8-inch sections of grass in between the concrete that doesn't make it look like it's so commercialized.
Yes, we did these panels. Once we poured the pool deck, we went with concrete and just sealed it. But like I said, we were going to do a stamp or a stain, a darker color, but I was like, we have so much natural woods here. I wanted to basically lighten it up where the colors pull out. And I said, once the grass gets down, basically that concrete being broke up the way that it is, it pulls all the color out. So basically we went with this grass. It's Zeon zoysia.
And you were telling me this is only 2 weeks?
Yes.
Wow, this is amazing.
We put the grass down, we started. We have about 60,000 square foot we've put total on the property. Back here we have about 9,000 square feet. This is a huge footprint of Zeon. But basically it's steep in the front. We wanted to keep the erosion down, but this grass, the rain hurt us, but once we got it down, it has helped us tremendously. You can irrigate. We're irrigating out of a natural spring pond, which is great. But we brought in all this topsoil, and basically within 6 to 7 days, the Zeon was already rooted, and it typically takes about 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
But I think basically every piece of it is completely 100% rooted after 17, 18 days.
Wow, that is awesome. So which way do you want to walk first? You want to go down this way, or we want to walk around the other side?
We can walk this way.
Okay.
If you want to, that's good.
So what kinds of, I see them different variations of plants. Like you mentioned this has a bluish tint to it. What kind of tree is that?
So these right here are blue atlas cedars.
Okay.
They come out of Oregon. They're grown in volcanic ash. They do exceptionally well here in Georgia.
Really?
But they cannot plant them from cuttings or basically pot them because of the ash. But once they get to 15 to 30 gallon container, they do excellent here.
Okay.
They really set off a landscape. I've been planting them for 7 or 8 years. I've been importing them from Oregon. I typically get them 10 to 12 feet where they're already, pretty much they're already mature.
Right.
But I think they set off landscapes and just make around pool areas, and they keep year-round foliage. They're excellent landscape tree.
And I like it how also you do a good combination of several things. Like you're not seeing just pine straw and just rock. I mean, you've got the pine bark here, and you've got, everything kind of ties in great different shaped rocks and everything. So yeah, I think it's really, really good.
The textures of everything, because the pine straw if basically it helps with the erosion when we put it down, but the mulch, the pine bark, I believe it just looks a lot better in the natural areas where the plants are to me, and the plants tend to thrive in the large pine bark.
Gotcha. And I was looking at this fence right here. I see a puppy back here, a dog. So I like how you were able to not just do a traditional chain link. You did a wood fence here with a 4 rail, or what do we call it, or 5 rail.
Yeah, that's a 4 rail. We designed that one up there. It's a 5 foot, and it's instead of a privacy fence, we made it a 5 foot, and it's basically like a 10 board.
Okay.
So instead of going horizontal with a fence or vertical with a fence, we ran horizontal pickets. And if you look at it from the other upside, we still got to build the gate. We're still in construction.
Sure.
But it's just really neat once it gets stained. It's just really ages well.
And put the wire mesh behind it.
Yes,
keeps the dogs in.
Yes. Customer has 5 acres here that's fenced out for the dogs.
So it keeps the dogs out of the pool.
Yes, keeps the dogs out of the pool. On the back side of there, it's 5 acres and it wraps around, but basically we've sodded everything where it started raining, all the grass we couldn't get down. Later in the project, it sat on the roll for a couple of days and discolored because of the heat. So we basically added another 25,000 square foot of zoysia on the back side for the dogs. It wasn't planned that way, and it doesn't look anything like this, but Mother Nature didn't cooperate with us. So that's basically...
At least it didn't go to waste, and you're able to have it. It'll come back at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It basically it's really making a good comeback already.
I gotcha.
But basically with the trees, all the green giants, even though we're secluded here, we raised the elevation of this. Like I said, basically when you come into this backyard, from here we have a 15-foot elevation drop. But basically if you look back, in a couple of years, this whole entire pool area will be completely secluded.
Right.
So basically you have all the natural woods, but you have year-round from the green giants, you have basically...
These are like the cypress or cedar trees back here?
Those are green giant arborvitaes.
Okay.
Yeah, we brought in 300 of those, B&B anywhere from 8 to 12 feet. We source them.
And those will grow really tall, really fast.
Yes, the great thing about the green giants, they're disease resistant, but they can be pruned unlike a Leland cypress. They're an excellent screen tree. One that I recommend to all my customers. One, because you can prune them.
Okay. So I see lots of heavy equipment back here. So you don't just have a typical, just a bobcat or anything. You've got, I see excavators and you said dump trucks and everything.
Yeah,
huh?
we rent an off-road dump truck. But basically, if you want to let everybody know, this is not, this side is still under construction. But basically, we came down the steppers that we didn't finish. We raised, if you can see from this side, basically the natural grade.
Oh yeah.
We cut a swell, but this is all built up, basically about 10 foot of fill and about 8 inches of topsoil. That we raised it. When you come in, basically it creates a natural swell here, but it also, when you come in, it don't fall off. So the landscape matches the whole front of the house. If you want to look around up here.
I do, yes. I see exactly what you're talking about. You got a nice big area there. You cut it down so this takes water away from the house this way.
Yes.
Every way possible.
Yes. So basically, you can see where we've cut it. There's a lot of water that comes naturally through a big valley here.
Okay. So the rocks obviously slow that down.
Yes.
Plus that
Yeah,
nice effect.
it's like a river with all this rain. So basically, when we were coming through up here in the front this week, this grass is a little less than 2 weeks old.
Okay.
It's doing extremely well. It's not 100% filled in, but it's doing extremely good for eight days. It's not really stressed. Said the rains helped tremendously. But if you want to step back here, when you come down, it's a large footprint. It kind of turned into a huge project.
Wow, it just keeps going.
Yeah, this is just about a third of the project, but basically when you pull into the house, the fence, the way we did the wall and we built the wall and the driveway, created a lot of parking here.
Yep.
But basically, when you go in and go out to turn around, that fence, you can see it's not, it is a, basically it's just a really good, the plants, the hydrangeas look awesome against it. And it doesn't create complete privacy, but it's another layer to the landscape that I believe looks much better than a privacy fence.
Gotcha.
We call that the orange design.
All right.
We did around the AC unit to cover the AC unit.
I noticed that too, you know, the little fence around that, it kind of ties back into everything, and that way you're not just seeing the air conditioning.
Yep, everything. And then basically here, as all this water is breaking down the driveway here, when it comes down, the driveway is about 700 feet, and there's a lot of water that builds.
And it comes on down this way.
So before the landscape was put in, it's still under construction, as you can see, but we brought in all this dirt to raise it about 3 feet. So basically what that does is across here, you have one consistent layer instead of the plants dropping off the side of the hill.
I got you.
So basically everything, when you look at it, normally all this would just fall straight off.
Well, you built this bed up here too to keep the water going that way before it even gets to your sidewalk.
Yes, so if you wanted all that water when it's flash flooding like it is, we catch a lot of water. So basically we built this, we raised it about 3 feet in elevation all the way across, and that all the water coming down the hill. One of the biggest things about landscape that people don't understand is water.
Right.
Water, when you start mass grading or pulling, you really, especially on a basement, you really need to focus on where the water's going. And it's terrible for plants. So everything, we raised everything where everything's well drained, and everything, after a heavy rain, this yard will be dry in 30 minutes.
Right.
And basically, this does two things. It raises it, the plants look much better. The elevation is consistent all the way across where you can see all the layers, but also the plants are well drained, and it holds all this water back from all that water running across the landscape island. So, and then basically all the water, since we built this, all the water in the front, we that was a sidewalk. We put panels, we'll walk up there, but we graded all the water away from the house into a natural dry creek bed.
Yeah.
And we had to do that because we had so much elevation change once we raised it.
Yeah, so you had to kind of compensate and take it there. But that makes sense, all your gutters drain out that way.
Yes, everything, we have a natural pond that we're digging down there, the water. But basically, all the downspouts, that's also something that I highly recommend on any house. Every one of the downspouts run underground in Schedule 40 PVC. Everything runs down to the pond, everything's away from the house, and everything is getting basically reused into the pond. So the front gutters all run to the left side of the pond, and everything in the back runs to the back side of the pond.
Gotcha.
We ran about 1,000 foot of Schedule 40 to get all the rainwater and collect it and basically put it into the pond instead of wasting it.
So it's going straight into the pipe, like piped all the way down?
Yes, it's piped all the way down to the edge.
I never would have thought, I thought I piped it at the side and let it go down, but now that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, we cut it back while we were under construction, but all the roof water is all running and getting reused. Basically, we're irrigating out of it.
Gotcha. Now I want to walk across the sidewalk and I want to hear the plan for the rest of this. And I like how so many times you just see the little bit of a bed next to the house, and often it seems like it's only a couple of feet, where you've got this coming back 8 or 10 feet, it seems like.
Yeah, so basically when the house was built, it was, the landscape was not planned out. It was just basically what you say, a builder grade house.
Yeah, just that little small thing here, but you've got this coming way out.
Yeah, so basically when we came in, this driveway, or this sidewalk, when it was poured, it came in, it was cold, and it's still dirty, it's under construction, but what we're gonna do here is put river rock in these panels. But basically we compacted and we built separate panels.
Out of the concrete, yeah.
Basically for the concrete, one, we're gonna put outdoor lighting out here, but two, it adds another layer to break up all this mulch. And we don't have to worry about any cracking or breaking because everything's on separate panels. And it's gonna add another layer, but it also, we're gonna put, the plan is between this mulch, we're gonna pull this out and we're gonna put mondo grass with river rock.
Okay.
And then these hydrangeas are bobo hydrangeas, and that's the first layer. But basically, when we created this, you can see it good now.
Oh yeah, everything kind of comes down right through naturally.
Yes, everything is created because we had so many water issues in the beginning. So basically we cut all that. You can see the elevation we cut in the beginning, but we raised those and planted those green giants. And this is a natural swale, but it's all landscape. But it's another layer, it all matches. So you can see everything.
I got you. And what is the grass that looks in between the hydrangeas?
Everything in the hydrangeas are pink muley. They bloom in the fall.
Okay.
They're translucent. They're not evergreen, but they'll bloom in the fall. They start blooming probably middle of September, and they'll bloom all the way until the first frost.
Okay. And then what will this area be here? What's the plan?
So basically here, we're gonna do a variety. I love plants. I like to always put my evergreens as a backdrop. It pulls all the color. You see everything, the green giants pull out all the color of the hydrangeas. Right. Or any pink. And also you got a natural barrier from, as a screen too. But basically we're gonna do, what I have laid out here, I have about 14 varieties of shrubs we're gonna put here. Okay. And we have we just have emerald arborvitaes, and then we have limelight hydrangeas there, and then a Japanese maple. But when you asked here, this bed, when they built it, it's real tight to the house. But I have such a big, the customer has such a big footprint, when you walk up, you can't have just grass coming. You needed to basically add another layer. So that's what we did. We raised it, took care of the water issues, and then also created a huge bed for plenty of color.
Very neat. And I like how you extended it to the other side, just because it continues on that way. It kind of picks up that from that side. Yeah,
the dry creek bed here, it runs through, it's 12 feet, but actually it catches all this water that on these heavy rains like we've had, but it adds another layer, and it's not finished yet, but we've had tons of rain. It's extremely wet. That's why we hadn't been able to complete this, but it's excellent, and it lasts, and it's decorative, but it also serves as a purpose too.
Sure. And I like how you put all the landscape fabric down first too. That really helps keeping weeds and stuff growing through, doesn't it?
Yes, it helps, but it keeps the rot from sliding. It does a lot of things. But rot draws a lot of heat, so you get a lot of weeds in it.
Right.
So, but overall, you can kind of see it's coming together pretty good. It's a large project, but it's getting there.
I gotcha. Well, this is really impressive. Probably one of the nicest landscape projects I have seen at a home in a very long time, especially something that's being constructed. This is really awesome, and obviously it's continuing on, and you've got it all around the backside of the backyard and everywhere else. This is a really, really cool, neat property here. When you look at projects that you like to take on with your company, you obviously have multiple crews that you're running and stuff. What's kind of the ideal job that you like to kind of work on?
Well, basically, after 15 years, when I started, like I said, I've started no advertising, just all word of mouth. Started out doing maintenance, year-round maintenance for properties.
Do you still do maintenance? Or
Yes, okay. We do maintenance.
Okay.
We still have kept many customers after 15 years from that we still have, that we started with. And as we've grown, we've just adapted to meet all our customers' need in the residential and the commercial. Mm-hmm. We do excavation. We do basically whatever a customer asks, but we've grown in 15 years. We have basically close to 40 employees now.
Wow.
We have about 20 pieces of equipment, and we actually just bought the old Fletcher's building in Carrollton.
Oh, awesome. So you'll be able to have an access for all the plants and stuff too?
Yes. We're going to be a wholesaler, but we're going to create something that is not in the West Georgia area. We bought it. We're going to change everything, but we're going to offer high quality products, but we're also going to be able to design and sell out of a storefront.
Okay, very neat.
The Fletcher's building is on 61 between Z1 and C&H Body Shop.
Right there. And it's hard to envision all this stuff without seeing it. That's why I wanted to meet you on a job site to see, like, hey, it's easy to talk about, nice plants and grass and swells and how it all comes together, but when you come out and see it all and take it all in, I'm sure the camera's going to have a hard time doing it justice to see really how much is all here with it and the different layers of everything. And one of the coolest things about this piece of property too is like the amount of hardwoods and pines you have already in the back. You already have a beautiful backdrop.
Yes.
This back there, this secluded. So just adding that other layer with it, I could imagine someone living in a neighborhood or a subdivision, this stuff would really be cool to tie in to give more privacy, but you already have the privacy too, plus you'll have the other layers of everything else. So this is a really neat project.
Yeah, and basically the natural, we didn't want to take away, like basically in the back as we walk down.
Sure.
As you look up the driveway, when they started, we were going to start clearing the trees, and I was like, man, this is a beautiful, beautiful place. Let's keep it natural. So basically we've created a natural tunnel there.
Yeah.
So basically when you come down the driveway like you guys did, you never think that this was back here. It's in the middle of roughly 20 acres here, and it's secluded, but when you come back here, you kind of get everything. You got it, and it's a lot of layers, but it's a beautiful secluded landscape that is, the pool just makes it a little bit better.
Oh yeah. Kyle, what are the areas that you serve for the most part? Obviously we're here in the West Georgia area, but how far do you typically go? Or I know you like to say somewhat close to home, but
yeah, we do, but on our commercial jobs, we go wherever our customer asks.
Okay.
Basically all the residential stuff, from the build and design and install. Like I said, we're taking over next month. September, we're planning on open middle of September at the old Fletcher's place. It's known as Second Nature now.
Okay.
But basically we're going to be in the West Georgia area between Villa Rica and West Georgia. What we're going to try to do is sell but provide the customer with something that nobody else has.
Okay.
We're going to do artificial turf, we're going to do design, we're going to be able to come out and look at properties, design them, sell all the product there, all locally. Everything's going to be locally grown. We're going to stock there, but everything we're sourcing is from local nurseries that we're getting and building stock with. So I'm really excited about that. That's a big deal for us.